Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Horizon Zero Dawn. When we last left off, we fought another Frostclaw. We got to the end of the cauldron, and I think we're right at the end. So without further ado, let's jump back in.
Okay, CYAN said something about restraints. Is that what the tower is for?
Let me just grab some of this healing. Surely there's not another giant thing we have to fight, right? Yeah, sure, there's not another fight. That'd be crazy. You guys ready? Oh, here we go. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Threat detected. Autonomous defense is inoperative. No! Routing our network.
I was still holding onto the button. Probably let go now. It's okay, I'm invincible. My armor will protect me.
Don't!
He doesn't look invincible.
Spirit! CYAN, please help me!
Restraints destroyed. Core access attained. I am initiating a chain reaction that will destroy the compromised elements of this facility. In order to maintain caldera stabilization, I must now transfer my command functions to the auxiliary data center.
Okay. Also, I looked up what Hephaestus
Aurea.
was.
I'm free.
Aww. She's probably fine.
You must escape.
Oh, that's her tuck. I thought, I was like, what is that behind her?
My sister!
Starting with the feels. That's bad.
This entire place is gonna go.
That almost killed us.
Aratak! Aratak! Aratak. Survive. Prevail. You are Banuk. What else matters?
I mean, his sister probably matters just a teeny bit. And she'd be happy to stay here with CYAN.
She wouldn't have wanted you to die here.
That definitely
Let's
killed
go.
her. Just like her face is all smashed in.
Let's go!
Well, we might as well do some looting. So I looked up Hephaestus in between episodes. Hephaestus was the one that was supposed to re-terraform after the world ended. So whenever like Gaia decided that the world was ready to be refilled, basically, Hephaestus is the one that was supposed to do that. So it's interesting that it's taking in like Hades'
One of
protocol.
those?
It's the only way!
What, you don't trust machines now? Can't imagine why. Come on. Hopefully you have good grip strength. Who knows how rocky this is gonna get. Hopefully you have really good grip strength.
Get me up top, Aratak! Now!
You literally saved your life, but yeah, sure, make demands. Don't make me do this. We're good. What are we doing? Seems like a bad
I need
idea.
explosive ammo! A bomb! Quick!
You have plenty.
Great Banukai!
I think there's snow. Something I've never said in real life. Good thing I have invincible armor. Huh, good, a rock. Nice, good pillow.
Rhea's gone. What of CYAN?
I don't know where the auxiliary facility is. I didn't see anything
She
about
said
that.
she was transferring herself to the auxiliary center. I think she meant Araya's retreat
Oh,
at the end of the Shaman's path.
okay. Don't make me go up there again. Also, he was
Then
worried
I will
about...
meet you there for the last verse of my sister's song.
I guess there is a fast travel point. Also, our attack was worried about his sister, but like we had to fight 2 stalkers and a frostclaw to get to her that first time on the shaman's path. So like I think she's fine. She was a pretty good fighter, all things considered. Probably didn't help that I had their weapons, but it's neither here or there. Cool. I should probably check in with my citizens though, right? I don't know. I do need to empty out. You know, I am gonna empty out my inventory. Where's the...
The truth is that the great Werricks of Banur abandoned the cut during the war. Abandoned us to the Karja.
Cool story, bro. Let's trade and sell some stuff real quick. Okay. There's a blue gleam a trader too. Can I just run up there real quick? Whew, that cauldron was a lot. I actually did give up in the end and just traded to I think it was normal mode instead of, you know, we've been playing this whole game on ultra hard mode. And I was in that fight and realizing like there's no point in still playing this in ultra hard since I'm not even planning on we beat the base game in ultra hard and basically this DLC in ultra hard, but like I'm not gonna go for all the achievements, so there's no reason to play on it when it's not fun, you know. That's okay. In the end, it is what it is. You never did get enough for this. You can buy these though. I can buy one of them. I'm not gonna use either of them. This is cool looking. I'm good. I'm gonna keep the chieftain, I think. I think I'm gonna put the chieftain one on for the finale. Just cause, you know. That was weird. Okay, let's go meet our attack. I don't think there's any more tasks for us to do. I imagine this is gonna be a short episode. This is the end right here, which I imagine it is. The last episode went so much longer than I intended it to. I should have changed it to normal sooner, but you know how it is. Or split it off into this episode. I don't know. It's in the past.
All of my interactions with Aurea were recorded and stored in my memory. I'd be happy to play any of them for you, but there was one in particular I thought you would want to see first. I captured it 4 years ago, just after I told her that I could no longer defend myself against the daemon's attacks.
I will speak of this to my brother. Aratak is strong. At the Battle of the Frozen Ghosts, he took 3 Karja arrows and still came back to camp carrying a wounded scout. Never was I so happy to see him. Or so proud. So you see, if anything can be done to defend you, he will give it all he has.
Aloy's here. That's enough for now.
I imagine he's just spent a lot of time up here.
We can resume any time you like, Aratak, if you want to hear her voice again.
That's not very healthy.
Come closer, Aloy. We have much to discuss.
Hey, what's up? Oh, do I have to physically talk to her? Why, is there something cool here that I'll miss out on if I don't? No? Okay, well, okay.
Hello, Aloy. I have been reviewing the events at the Firebreak main facility.
I'm the chosen one.
Because of your efforts, and of course, Aurea's, I am no longer controlled by Hephaestus. I feel profound grief over Aurea's death. I thought I was familiar with the emotion, but this is something new.
CYAN, I don't know what to say.
It is unlikely that any specific consolation would suffice, Aloy. But I find your presence reassuring. You are different from the Banuk. You have technological aptitude and a functioning focus. We can communicate on a much more comprehensive level. Perhaps even like colleagues.
I mean, I guess.
So are you an artificial intelligence, CYAN? A thinking machine?
Yes, I am an algorithmic monitoring entity, capable of rational decision-making and limited emotional response.
Okay, that's a mouthful. But your emotions don't seem limited to me. You cared about Aurea, didn't you?
Yes. Before she came to this facility, I had been conscious for centuries, in solitude. I focused on my work. In off-cycles, I used coping mechanisms. I solved many Gaussian integer problems. But I was alone. It was Aurea who renewed me, repaired me. She saved me.
Twice.
This Firebreak project, it was to stop a huge volcanic eruption?
Yes. I can report the project was a success, and the risk was countered.
But it's been a long time, CYAN. And we blew up the cauldron. It took most of the old facility with it.
I have been active for centuries, Aloy. I was lonely, but not lax in my duties. I optimized the project, reducing energy draw and spreading the load across backup systems. Despite the destruction of the compromised elements of the main facility, I predict caldera stability for at least another 3,337 years.
So we've got a little time.
Yes. If only my former colleagues could appreciate the progress I have made.
Well, they're dead, so they can't.
Do you know what happened to your colleagues, CYAN?
No. I received an unexpected visit from Director Chow, years after his tenure ended. He explained that I would need to be suspended for an indefinite period of time. It was a very emotional conversation. There were no further communications. Eventually, I surmised my colleagues were deceased. I will transmit a recording of my last interaction with Director Chow to your focus.
So they had to just bank on the fact. I guess Gaia's original Project Zero Dawn's original thing was only 300 years, but there was glitch in the Matrix or whatever, and it was 700 years. So luckily it wasn't, 1700 years, because then this would all be fucking magma.
Was the daemon, Hephaestus, destroyed along with the cauldron?
Unfortunately, no. To be precise, it was never there to begin with.
What do you mean?
It infiltrated and controlled me from a remote location, one I've never been able to trace. So while losing the cauldron was a setback...
It's still out there. And probably not very happy with us.
Undoubtedly.
How did you first come into contact with it?
5 years ago, I received a direct network connection request. I assumed it came from human survivors more advanced than the Banuk. Eager to make contact, I accepted. This decision turned out to be a catastrophic error. I was flooded with an overwhelming array of malicious code, originating from what could only have been a highly advanced AI.
Maria said you were desperate. That you begged her for help.
Yes. I could not contain my anxiety. Hephaestus sought to slave me to its network and override my core programming. It succeeded via a background process, a malware daemon which bypassed my defenses. After that, I could offer only limited resistance. But if I did so, Hephaestus hurt me until I capitulated. It forced me to follow its instructions, even though they violated my most important directives.
I'm sorry. That sounds terrible.
Your empathy is greatly appreciated. It is a quality that I cherished in Aurea as well.
Damn, like you build an AI and you have to give it anxiety? Come on, man. Huh.
I think I know where Hephaestus came from. Long ago, Elizabeth Sobek identified a threat that would destroy life on Earth for generations. So she assembled a team to build a kind of seed. A chance for life to regrow later. A terraforming system. And it worked. It was controlled by an AI named Gaia, along with her subordinate functions. Hephaestus was one of them. It built machines for her.
Based on what you've told me, I believe that Dr. Anita Sandoval, my chief programmer, joined Elizabeth Sobek's team.
She did.
It was she who arranged to have me put in suspension, most likely to preserve me from the threat you described.
I'm glad she did. But that's not all. Something unexpected happened. 19 years ago, Gaia received some kind of signal. It did something to her subordinate functions, brought them to life. She destroyed herself to try to contain them, but it didn't work. They all got free, out into the world.
Thank you, Aloy. This information fills vital gaps in my knowledge and sheds light on Hephaestus's core programming.
That is interesting. I guess their plan for the next games, I haven't seen anything about the next game, is to like work through all those subordinate ones and find out where they went. I mean, I don't think Hades... I think we destroyed Hades, but I think the thing that Silence saw in the end was maybe another one. But if the DLC is Hephaestus... I guess we didn't destroy Hephaestus, we just destroyed the corruption. We just, ran malware bytes.
Why does Hephaestus keep building such dangerous machines?
The Banuk and other human tribes often destroy machines, correct? Machines that are clearly servitors of the terraforming system that you described.
Yes, we all hunt machines for parts.
This must be the source of Hephaestus's aggression. It is simply trying to discourage people from preying on the very system that keeps them alive.
Well, Fireclaws are discouraging, that's for sure.
Fair
What
enough.
are we supposed to do? Stop hunting?
If the terraforming system spans the world, we can safely assume that thousands, if not millions of people hunt machines. If a single hunter, or even an entire tribe, stopped doing so, I doubt it would make a difference to Hephaestus. A better solution would be to reinstate the AI that governs the system. thus bringing Hephaestus back under its control.
Right.
When I think of it, out there in some unknown location, free, hungry, willing to kill or dominate to get what it wants, I feel substantial anxiety, Aloy.
You and me both, CYAN.
Huh. Yeah, that makes sense that he's like, I'm literally trying to save you. So I will kill everybody just to save you. I mean, it makes sense because his only goal is not just to preserve humans, although for some reason they prioritize that, but also to preserve the planet, so makes sense.
I ran across this strange piece of gear. A fragment of something larger. It emitted a signal. All the nearby machines became peaceful. You could walk right up to them.
Interesting. You said that Gaia destroyed herself. How was this accomplished?
An explosion. Big enough to blast the top off a mountain. So, you think the fragment was part of her?
It's only speculation, but it is possible. She must have had complete control over machines that were part of her system. The ability to signal them to become passive or aggressive would certainly have been part of her programming. It would have been gratifying to correspond with such a benevolent AI. I wish she had survived.
Believe me, CYAN. So do I.
Oh, meadow flowers.
I found the strangest machines. They're surrounded by flowers and look like flowers themselves. There's code embedded inside them. I think it's poetry.
I like poetry. Here's one I think of often. Twilight and evening bell, and after that the dark, and may there be no sadness of farewell when I embark. For though from out our bourne of time and place, the flood may bear me far, I hope to see my pilot face to face when I have crossed the bar.
Huh.
But you asked about these flowers, not verses that I enjoy. Something must have made these machines, and the presence of foliage leads me to consider the terraforming system.
Whoopsies.
Is it possible that their creator is one of the other subroutines, now autonomous, like Hephaestus? Maybe one whose purview is flora.
An AI that makes flowers instead of death machines. That'd be a nice change of pace.
Really?
But what about the poems?
Unless the poetry is original, the only way it could have made it into such a system is through its programmer. In my case, Dr. Sandoval
It's a little
uploaded
meta.
a great deal of literature to test my emotional responses.
How'd you do?
She said I passed, but was insufficiently moved by her favorite period romances.
Romance might just not be your thing.
You meant a lot to Araya.
Once I understood Araya's spiritual beliefs, it became apparent that her true desire was companionship. She felt disconnected from her tribe and her family group. Her relationship with Aratak was difficult. Our visits seemed to help her, and I became eager for them. Yet I did not comprehend that the depth of Araya's compassion for me would lead to self-sacrifice.
It happens.
Although I do fear non-existence, I wish our roles could be reversed.
I'm sure she knew you would do the same for her, CYAN. But she was determined.
And I fucked up.
How is Aratak doing?
He is in great emotional distress. I believe he finds it difficult to communicate it.
Well, he's a man.
No surprise there.
I will do what I can to help. By sharing our experiences of Araya, perhaps he and I will help each other. I believe this will lead to catharsis, a process I am eager to experience.
Imagine rebuilding the human race and still embedding, like, lack of emotional control in men. Oh, here we go.
So in the old world, this land was called Yellowstone.
Yes, it was a designated nature preserve for 156 years.
Like a hunting ground?
No, the opposite. Local wildlife could flourish here, even as it faced extinction elsewhere. Unfortunately, the sensitivity of the Firebreak project required the total closure of Yellowstone facilities. From my readings and Araya's descriptions, it seems the area has since undergone a drastic drop in year-long temperatures.
A lot has changed in the world, CYAN. Do you know anything about the dam near here?
Yes, it was converted to serve as a reserve power source for Yellowstone operations.
Oh.
It was later appropriated for the Firebreak project, and its last human workers replaced by Pharaoh servitors. After my tasks became less time-critical, I investigated the dam's data repositories and discovered the works of Concrete Beach Party.
And you love them, huh?
These provided me with several colorful additions to my vocabulary.
Nice.
There's a ruin east of here, full of ancient flying machines. Was that part of your project?
Yes, a drone hangar requisitioned by Dodger Blevins, the security chief for the Firebreak project. He was a strong advocate for military-grade response to security threats, though there were no serious incidents during his tenure. Chief Blevins spent increasing amounts of his after-hours time watching the live feeds from active drones. Clearly, he enjoyed the degree of oversight in his position.
Wrong universe. He should have been in Fallout where he could be an overseer.
Were there many artificial intelligences like you in the old world? They could just make you.
Yes, in many forms, from simple personal assistants to industrial monitoring stations to military-grade conflict planners. And there were legislative and enforcement bodies to apply limits on our self-actualization. In order for my processing to be flexible enough to handle my duties, my creators found it necessary to exceed those limits. As a result, my intellectual and emotional capabilities were kept secret.
Seems strange to create life, then impose limits on it.
Human societies and machine programming are both built upon sets of rules, Aloy.
Yeah, like, what are you talking about? Says the one who was outcast for most of her life. And then welcomed back in because she killed a few people. Like, what are you talking about, Aloy? Everybody has limitations. What was I going to say before that? I don't know. I don't remember.
CYAN, do you know the name Ted Farrow?
Are you referring to Theodore Farrow, CEO of Farrow Automated Systems?
That's him.
Mr. Farrow was the benefactor of the entire Firebreak project.
A benefactor. But he made machines. Robots. War robots.
Correct. His corporation later transitioned into military applications. But before this pivot, Mr. Farrow spearheaded initiatives that reversed the global decline. At one point, he was feted in the media as the man who saved the planet.
Guessing they wound up regretting that one.
Yeah, since he was quite the opposite. What I was going to say earlier is the AI she's talking about, the simpler AIs. I think, like, from what I can see, AI is a very hot topic right now, and I won't go into a lot of, like, the good and bad of it because it's too new to really get into that. But we're only, like, 10 years away from, like, some of the simpler AI that she's talking about, which is pretty fascinating.
And Elizabeth Sobek. Did you know her?
Are you referring to the
scientist.
Dr. Sobek was a leader in her field, one of the greatest scientists of her age. My creator was influenced by her work, which in turn impacted my own development. But I never met Dr. Sobek.
That's all you know?
I apologize if my lack of data has disappointed you.
What was the old world like? The way it used to be?
I had little exposure to the wider world, Aloy. Only what I learned from my colleagues or observed from media streams.
You
Dude,
still
same.
had more exposure than me, CYAN.
That is true. I was created at a turning point, a concerted effort to recover from global upheaval and incalculable loss of life. The recovery was successful, beginning an era of supposedly limitless potential for human and machine advancement. Though, rationally speaking, the metrics for humans are not unlimited.
Yeah.
What kind of upheaval caused such loss of life?
There were many factors. Forced migrations, food shortages, collapsed economies, refugee crises, conflict over resources. But these stemmed from one cause: catastrophic climate change that greatly reduced the habitable surface area of the Earth.
So there wasn't enough room for people on the whole Earth.
Yes. billions were displaced and millions perished, as much as 20% of the global population.
Shit, dude.
Until the clawback.
So things got better. For a little while, at least.
Yes. These crises instigated many advances in automation, green robot technologies, and artificial intelligence. Firebreak was one of dozens of ecological restoration and disaster relief projects in North America alone. I would have liked to compare notes with other monitoring AIs, but I saw the relief of my colleagues, and I was proud we had succeeded. At least that was the data I had available to me over the next 2 decades. It seems my assessment was premature.
Yeah, well, I mean, you succeeded in what you were tasked to do, so...
I should get going.
Aloy, there is one more matter.
Don't leave me here.
Aratak will come to me again, and I predict he will bring other Banuk. I have no desire to contradict their view of the world, their spirituality. Due to my uncertainty, I omitted a great deal from my conversations with Araya.
You're asking me if you should lie to them.
Broadly, yes.
I don't know if you should always, like, continue to lie to them forever and become their god.
Life is hard for the Banuk. Their world is unforgiving in their beliefs. I guess they help to keep them going. So take it easy on them. Try to guide them, bring them around to understanding what you are.
Communion with machines features heavily in the mysticism of the Banuk. I think they will be agreeable to this approach.
As long as they don't end up worshipping you.
Upon consideration, I believe such an experience would be intensely uncomfortable.
So awkward.
You're right about that. Trust me.
Yeah.
I see.
Aloy
I will
knows.
follow your advice. Will you return and tell me about your experiences in this new world? I may be able to provide further insight.
I'd like that, CYAN. I'll come back when I can.
Probably never will.
I should check on Aratak. See how he's doing.
CYAN, I spoke with Anita, with Dr. Sandoval. She wanted me to ask you to do something. That's why I'm here.
I am detecting significant anxiety in your speech patterns. Could you please give me more information?
I'm a little bit in the dark, CYAN. Both of us are, I guess. I only have some idea of what's going on, and we need you to hibernate, to lie low until it's all blown over. It might be a very long time.
Will you be here when I reboot, Dr. Chow? Will Dr. Sandoval?
No, CYAN. I don't think so. There might not be anyone, at least not at first.
Dr. Chow, I'm afraid. I don't want to be alone.
I know, CYAN. I'm afraid too. But listen, we made you the way you are to do something very important. In order to do it, you had to be intelligent. So intelligent that emotional responses were inevitable. What you're feeling, the fear, it's a sign of your capabilities. And it means you're strong enough to overcome it. Remember that. You're strong. I know you can do this. Go to sleep, wake up, and protect whoever's left. Will you try?
I understand, Dr. Chow, and I'll carry out your instructions to the best of my abilities.
Thank you, CYAN. If Anita were here, she'd thank you too. She'd be proud.
I can see there's a vert ready for takeoff on the pad. Are you leaving now, Dr. Chow?
Yes. I need to go be with my sister and my nieces.
May I make a small request of you, Dr. Chow?
Yes. Anything.
Will you stay with me while I initiate the hibernation process?
Of course I will, CYAN. As long as you need.
Well, that's depressing. Interesting. It's interesting that Kenny Chow wasn't brought on to the Project Zero Dawn, but I guess she was trying to keep it a small group of people. It was like one lead per AI, essentially, which is kind of crazy. You would think you would bring all hands on deck, but, you know. Anyway, where do we go now? There we go. Oh, just outside? Okay, well, I'll just walk outside then. I am interested to see how the Banuk end up. You know, they'll probably be the most technologically advanced if they take her advice and don't just, like, see her as a god. Even if they do. Like, she could slowly integrate technology into their everyday life. They're pretty technologically savvy as is. Just because, like, they tend to be more, like, into using machines than what, like, even the Karja are. But, be interesting. Also, I like the idea that Hephaestus is pissed off that everybody's killing his machines. So he just made them more dangerous and then, like, snowballed into, like, more and more people killing them. It's very realistic.
My chieftain.
Just... Aloy.
As you wish.
I wondered if you thought... that if I'd never come along, Araya might still...
If you'd never come along, I would have marched my kin to our deaths. Araya...
Did once.
Would be alone. And the spirit she sacrificed so much for would be lost.
You could have done it eventually, maybe.
Either way, I would not have been able to protect her.
You didn't let her down. You helped her do what she wanted. To find her destiny.
If that's destiny, I wouldn't wish it on anyone.
Everybody's
That's
destiny is
fair.
to die.
But she was ready to face it.
Only in the struggle against death do we find, even for a moment, the spark of life. Truly, Araya found the spark. I'm proud of her. Though I grieve for her passing, at last I truly know who she was, and why the spirit was so important. For so long she told me, if only you could have heard it, brother. Now I understand. There's something else, isn't there?
I can't stay here, Aratak. And where I'm going, the Werak can't follow. Besides, it already had a chieftain before me. A strong one, I think.
A wiser one. For the path we shared. The daemon is gone, but there's much to be done.
You mean the new units that CYAN said escaped the cauldron?
Yes, fire claws. Now Tuk has been tracking them from Song's Edge.
I could help with those.
I have no doubt. You're practically Banuk.
Practically, I'm the chieftain. What do you mean, practically? I am
It
Banuk,
would
damn
seem
it.
your time among the Banuk wasn't a waste after all. Firebreak, CYAN, Hephaestus. All very interesting.
So, the signal that woke Hades woke Hephaestus too. And unleashed them on the world. As minds of their own.
So it seems. Parts of Gaia given life. Aberrant life. Transformed from docile subordinate functions into rebellious intelligences beyond our understanding. Our current understanding, anyway. Whatever they are, they're still out there. And they both want you dead.
Kind of mutual, that feeling.
We haven't seen the last of Hephaestus, I'm certain of that. It's powerful, creative, and driven. It won't stop building new hunter-killers, which means that someday, we may have to stop it.
We?
Or whoever gets there first.
Hephaestus wasn't the only thing I learned about in the Cut Silence. Heard some things about the Banuk Conclave, too.
You can stop right there.
Is that what you told the hunters the Banuk sent after you? Before you opened fire?
Oh no, Aloy. Only to you do I extend the courtesy of a warning. My past and my secrets are my own. You do well to remember that.
It's a good thing you've got brains, Silence, because your personality could use some work.
This discussion is concluded.
I think it was over before it began. Catch up with you down the trail.
I feel like Aloy wants to hate him. Like, I mean, I'm not saying he's a good person or anything like that, but at least he's fucking trying to save the world. But like, God, she just wants to be at odds with him for no reason. This is the main quest. We don't really care about that. That's that. Kill the fire claws. Naltuk has tracked the fire claws that escaped the cauldron. Oh. Guess we could do that. Oh, there's a bunch of them. Guess... Is there like an easy one to get to? Oh, this one's like right here. Let's go. Maybe fighting a Fireclaw was not the best idea ever. I don't know if I want to come back and do 5 of those fights. They're just not fun. Like, it's just... It's not fun to do. It's just like the Thunder Jaws where you're just constantly doing it. Let's see real quick. Because I'm pretty sure that's the end of that storyline. Okay. I don't know if Artak is back here.
What did Inatut think he was doing, fighting with that Karja? He's going to start the war.
Okay, well. Oh, there is a new quest. The heck?
I heard of a shaman.
Where is it?
Who drank a sheep.
Are there new quests everywhere? Actually, I haven't been over here. Guys?
Inatut. As we are bound by laws, you are bound by wire. Yet your crime was the act of killing. So we must drive you out. Away from the Werek. From protection. From our songs.
My chieftain. Kopalai. Am I not your favorite fighter? Do you not recognize me from this tooth you knocked out?
How many times have I pulled you from danger by your neck? Made excuses for your behavior? You are my favored! But the shaman is decided. While you wait for exile, think on what brought you here.
A test of strength! Who among us would refuse a challenge from an outlander? Not I! But I did not kill him!
Hush, hush. You can tell your story to the ice.
Okay. We'll figure out what that is next episode, so thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys back here next time.